But taking passion, taking that emotion and transferring it into a valuable asset involves knowing more about how you take and transform that passion and put it to work. Because sometimes passion as emotion can be fleeting, and sometimes passion is something that is diluted across too many activities. So having the building blocks or knowing the principles of how to take your passion, put it to work, that's what Passion Capital is all about. So the 7 principles of Passion Capital or building blocks are creed, culture, courage, brand, resources, strategy, and the 7th one is persistence. The 5th principle or building block of Passion Capital are resources. Now resources are financial, they're human, they're intellectual. They're the assets that we bring to bear to perform and create success and results. But how we marshal and master those resources make it one of the building blocks or principles of Passion Capital. When we take resources and we allocate them efficiently and effectively, the right resources to the right use at the right time, that's what marshaling and mastering resources is all about. And that's why it's the 5th principle or building block of Passion Capital.
You know, you take a look across Canada and you think about who does a great job around resource allocation. Again, I think again of Aldo Bensadoun down in Quebec, who came into Canada as an immigrant and ultimately built up a worldwide chain of shoe stores, Aldo's. And you think back and you start to think about where did he get the capital and then the people to man those stores, and how do you juggle that, and how do you open a second store? And to me, that's, if you do that properly and you treat all forms of capital with the same type of sensitivity, then you should be successful. And I think, again, a great Canadian example would be somebody like Aldo Bensadoun, who's done that with Aldo's.
One of the great Canadian stories of mastering and marshaling resources was Harry Rosen.
The money I needed to rent a store I didn't have, so I borrowed $500. My father arranged to get it from a relative, and I opened on Parliament Street, a very unlikely place. But what I had in mind was building, as I say, relationships with customers, and I considered everyone a prospect, whether they were really a prospect or not. And the result was that my name circulated, and as I developed customers, I asked for referrals, and I used that as a means of getting to new customers. And so I overcame the location, which could be seen as a negative.
When you watch what Harry Rosen created out of a very small store in Toronto as a startup, to the Bloor Street store now, which is arguably the finest menswear store in the world. Harry Rosen is a great example of an entrepreneur, a creative individual who took his passion for fashion and also his passion for relationships and building brand. And what he did was marshal resources and master them to build one of the great retail chains in Canada and one of the great retail menswear stores in the world.